Hello, thanks for joining me for another video beer review then. Today we've got a beer from the London Beer Factory. And this is their Fuzzy Recall, New England IPA then, coming in at 6.3% ABV. So yes, another one of these Tesco kind of beers. I've had this beer quite a while actually. It's been sat in the fridge. I think I must have got it really fresh because it's actually got a best before date of the 19th of June of 2021. So I would imagine I've probably had it around, I don't know if I had it probably just after or maybe just before the end of lockdown here in the UK. So that ended on the 4th of July. So yeah, I've had it a fair few weeks, maybe a month and a half or something like that. But yeah, it's been cool. Yeah, anyway, collaboration with Gamma Brewing out of Denmark. I've never actually had any of their gear. But yeah, I've heard some great things about them. So yeah, it's one of them complete ring pulls. The whole top of the can comes off. So there's these new gadgets at the moment where you can do that, but it's like, well, We've got these kind of like tear the top of the can off kind of beers over in Europe anyway. So I don't know if they get over to the US, but yeah, it's kind of like. Anyway, so what we got in this then? We've got, so the hops are Cashmere, Equinox, Idaho 7, and Azaka. The malts are Marisota, lager, wheat, and oats. And then obviously I've mentioned a few bits of that already. So here's the ingredients: water, malted barley, malted oats, malted wheat, hops, and yeast. So 440ml can then. I think it was £3 in Tesco's extra. My friend bought me a load of stuff when he was going to get some stuff for him after or just before lockdown ended. And he bought me about 40 quid's worth of stuff. So I was like, yeah, okay then. See what this one's about. It's getting an aroma. You can actually, well, you can't see it, but it's pretty cool to see the actual colour of the beer before you pour it. Interesting aroma. So we'll get it in the glass and then we'll give it a full going over. Leave a little bit there. Bit of sediment in the bottom of the can, which is pretty cool. You can actually go and see that with the old the way the can top is designed. So beer in a glass. It's got just below a finger of white, frothy head. Actually, it's not tightly packed or anything like that. But yeah, hazy orange, usual kind of thing for the style. That kind of New England look. Yeah, looks the business. Not much light bleeding through that. So it's 6.3. So, but yeah, flaked oats in this one. So was it flaked oats? Not that it matters. Malted oats. Anyway, aroma. Getting like dried pineapple, like pale stone fruits, sort of more of that kind of dried fruit, dried apricot, dried passion fruit. It's got that kind of vibe to it. It's not pungent, like right up in your face. There is a slight maltiness going on, not going to lie. But a very drying type fruit aroma. Apricots, passion fruit. Let's give it a taste and see what we get. Intriguing. Cheers. Pleasant enough. It's quite soft, lovely soft mouthfeel. It's not getting, I'm not quite getting that dryness I was getting on the aroma, or not dryness, but do you know what I mean? That kind of dried fruit, kind of fruit pastel-y, almost like there's a slight savouriness in that, or even though it smells of dried fruits. Yeah, the aroma's a bit, but the taste is not bad at all. Very soft, definitely getting that kind of let's throw that up there before I cut myself. That's the only problem with these, you've got to be quite careful, because this is like a blade almost, so put it face down is a good idea, unlike me when I just, yeah, and then, oh, that's my finger. Anyway, I digress. It's very, the more I'm drinking it, it's starting to get a little bit dry. The palate's becoming a little bit acclimatised to the whole thing. Definitely a dryness. Very kind of piffy, dry. Grapefruit pith. Orangey pith, lemon pith. It's got that kind of, it's definitely giving an overall take of piffiness. There's definitely a bit more malt on the aroma than on the actual taste, which is intriguing. So we put all the beer in there now. What does it say? Fuzzy Recalls, generously hopped East Coast IPA showcasing the best of hops such as Cashmere Idaho 7, originally brewed in collaboration with Danish haze-maestros Gamma. This is a hoppy, hazy and juicy IPA. Tropical fruit flavours dominate while the malt provides the perfectly smooth drinking foundation. I actually really do love the kind of artwork. It reminds me of like nebulas from like the Hubble Space Telescope kind of thing. Many millions of light years away kind of thing. It's giving me that kind of vibe. Which is pretty cool, I must admit. Yeah, awesome. I will at one point try and get some Gamma beers, but I've been mainly trying to focus on obviously certainly during lockdown, just supporting my local breweries and bottle shops and that sort of thing. But this is very pleasant. I mean, it's not. I'm getting more pineapple now. Pineapple's kind of wafting in, certainly to the flavour. Decent amount of carbonation, not crazy, but just enough to push it around the flavours around the mouth and all that kind of. You've heard that before somewhere, I'm sure. Not there. Slightly sweet, not crazy. Like a medium body, no ABV, so to speak of. Very easy. Oh, nearly spilled it then. Very easy drinking. Yeah. Just yeah. It's getting on for a lower medium body. It's not quite in the middle. It's a little bit towards the lower end of the centre of the medium body, if that makes sense. So sort of a third of the medium. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that would probably be my only little thing. It just needs a little bit more body, but it's not bad at all. And on I just added that little burp. Excuse me. But the kind of the flavour I was getting from that, I was getting a definitely more of a slight prickly pear, earthiness from that I wasn't getting on the actual taste itself. So. Yeah, a little bit earthiness there. But overall, not a bad beer. For a supermarket beer, it's not bad at all. There's so many to choose from now. And it seems, well, I mean, this beer's been out since, I don't know, is it March? They started doing all these releases, and then, or early April, we've literally been a week in lockdown, and all these new beers were coming out in Tesco's Extras around the country. Of course, I was not going to be able to go up there and do all these sorts of things, because our house was in lockdown for a hell of a long time because we were shielding for a family member. So all of my Tesco's beers are, you know, going forward, are probably going into the autumn kind of thing. So but yeah, I mean, since then, you know, there's M&S brought a load of stuff out. Currently, as I'm recording, Morrison's are bringing loads of stuff out. They're really starting to, supermarkets are starting to compete with the craft, if you want to call it that. Beer scene is it's evolving into supermarkets. Whether it's a good thing or not, I'm not too sure. If you're on a bit of a budget and you want something a little bit better, then obviously at the end of the day you've got to do what you can do. I would just rather buy less, and if you can, support your local bottle shops or go direct to the breweries. That's just me. Or your online stores, whatever's, you know, if you haven't got any bottle shops and stuff locally to you. But there's a whole debate that's raged all summer about that. I have, during lockdown, I didn't do the supermarket thing. It was more towards the end. My mate goes, "Oh, do you want some of these?" I was like, "Go on and just get it." But I was more supporting local bars and breweries and stuff during the lockdown, because that was like a period of time that, you know, will they be there at the end of all this? And we're not out of the woods yet. You just don't know what's going to happen in the future. Yay, happy. But yeah, getting back to the beer, because I'm waffling on. This is not a bad one. Is it the best I've had? It's all right. It's getting there, but it's not for me. I'm trying to think what I had has been better. Batches definitely seem to vary within the Tesco realm, at least. I've not had much experience of the other kind of supermarkets, like Life and Death, the Brewdog Cloudwater collaboration, New England IPA. I've had some amazing ones. I've seen other people, when I've cracked it, it's just like brown, oxidized, and all that sort of thing. So there is the hits and misses in the batches are by the look of it, more so than what I've seen generally in independent bottle shops. Obviously, it's brewed at a price. They're producing much more. Maybe some things are slipping through the net a little bit more than they would have done if they'd have been in independent bottle shops. I don't know. But I'm sure price point comes into play there. But, you know, whatever. Let's give it one more taste and we'll give it a rating then. So this fuzzy recall, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's not going back. Yeah, decent brew. Not any kind of well beater or anything like that, but a fairly decent brew. London Beer Factory, I've had a fair few of their beers, and they're a steady brewery. What I've had from them, they sent me a bunch of beers once, which is really cool of them. You know, still appreciate any brewery sending me stuff. It's you don't expect it, just out of the blue. Oh, here you go. I'm like, okay, thank you very much. One of them deals. I'm gonna give this beer like I don't know, a 7.5 out of 10. So it's a 3.75 on the Untapped scale. What we got here? Let me get the page up and running. Then it helps. Okay, 6,459 total check-ins on this beer. Then it's had 423 in the last 30 days, so it's still around at the time of reviewing. It's had 5,678 total ratings of this beer, and it's coming in at 3.77. So I'm 3.75. Not bad, is it? That's not a bit of a lucky guess there. But yeah, it's all relative. It doesn't, you know, it's all down to personal taste and preferences and stuff. It's just what I think of it. So go out and try it for yourself. So it's Fuzzy Recall from the London Beer Factory, and a collaboration with Gamma Brewing out of Denmark. So it's a New England IPA, 6.3% ABV in Tesco's Extras. I assume it's still around. Obviously, looking at that, 423 in the last 30 days, it's obviously still knocking around. I haven't been in a Tesco's Extra since March, so maybe I'll get there in the next day or two just to have a nose. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if I've had it down below. Really do appreciate all the comments and views and all that sort of thing. Really do appreciate it. Many beer tubers out there these days, so always appreciate it. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe as well. That'd be really cool. Give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers then.